ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the season premiere of Easily Brief Football. This is your host, Johnny Pompa, and I am here with the reigning, defending PFL champions and the spiciest team on the market, on the Asian football scene, United City FC. And how's everything, man?
Well, thank you so much. For everyone here, thank you so much for joining us. I have uh, the champions of the 2020 Philippines Football League season. It's the United City Football Club. We have their owner, Eric Gottschalk. We also have their team captain and playing coach, Stefan Schrock, joining us. All of them are actually in different parts of the world right now, but we managed to get them into one screen, and I'm really happy to do that. And yeah, I'm doing good here in Manila, although things are really shaky because of the season two of the enhanced community quarantine. But what can we do? And also, by the way, I'd like to thank our friends from the media for joining us here tonight as well, so that you people can also get your news about this team. So yeah, Dave, let us know, what do we have in stock for tonight?
No, sorry. I was just posing because Stefan was like taking a photo. But yeah, so of course. Of course, first of all, thank you very much for everyone, for your time, especially to for Eric. Let's ask first with the first question from no, from our fans.
Yep.
So with the pandemic going on, this is from Gile Christian. So he says, with the pandemic going on and everyone isn't in touch with everyone else, how did you keep up and bond or try to build relationship and gel with each other, especially with the newly signed players?
First of all, thank you very much for making this possible here. Happy to be on the show. Thank you also to our players here and to Stefan. As you said, they're all over the world right now, and we're able to bring them together here. Well, it's been a long time since we played the last match, and it looks like it's going to be quite some time before we play the next match. But we've been able to assemble quite an impressive lineup, I think. And if I go back about 1 month, the news was all about us falling apart. It sounded almost like going back to July last year or August, where everybody was doubting what's happening with us. And we're back. I think now everybody gets excited about the Champions League. I think we have been able to recruit an incredible core of the players from last season that's made a commitment to come back. And then we've really spiced it up with a lot of the new signees. So we have 13 returning players. We have 14 newcomers. It's a squad of 27 players. I think we're absolutely ready for the Champions League. But as you said correctly, it's obviously difficult for us right now to bring people together. And Stefan will talk a little bit more about it. He has great plans. He has a great vision. He knows exactly what we need to do once the team is all together and when we start training. But at the moment, the good thing is that a lot of the players have been playing in leagues overseas. And the other players that are not that fortunate, obviously they are doing their own home workouts. But I think the one thing that keeps everybody together is that I think one of the common links is Stefan, actually. And first of all, I want to officially thank him and congratulate him that he has accepted to come back, not only as a captain, but also as a playing coach. And this is going to be instrumental. And pretty much all of the recruitment, except maybe one or two of the players, these are players that Stefan either played with, players that Stefan knows, and they believe in what we're trying to do with the club. So he has been absolutely instrumental of putting this group together. And so I let Stefan talk a little bit more about how we got here and what his plans are.
Let's go to the Kaiser himself, Stefan Schrock. Stefan, thank you very much for being here. How have you been, man? And what's the game plan for for the upcoming Champions League?
Good evening to Manila from Germany. Happy to join the show. Good to see you guys happy and safe and healthy. Also hi to our owner, co-founder Eric, and Mark, Jonny, Kenry, the guys from the media. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. With us, it's a long break again, and it's not so not it's not getting easier with the pandemic going on, but motivation and discipline was never a concern of this team and of these players, and so I'm in very high hopes when once we can return that everyone is ready to perform. With regards of what Eric mentioned earlier, that I'm the link. I can only operate and work as good as the management and the owners allow me, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity to return, to help, to create something even bigger than Ceres was, and I'm looking so forward for this year because this is going to be a game-changing year for Philippines football itself.
Yeah,
All right.
I really agree with that, Stefan. It really is something special right now that, amidst the pandemic, amidst the challenges that we do have right now, UCFC is still here, and you just keep on improving your squad. We've heard a lot of important players leaving the club after the season, but here you are actually playing with some familiar faces, like what Eric said. Some people who you played against with, and some people you actually played with in Ceres. Now, before we go into the next question from our fans, we just want to know your insight about the signings that Eric and the team has brought in for United City Football Club. I mean, these guys, it's a great mix of players, to be honest. I mean, just looking into the names of it, it's a great mix. How do you think you would gel with the team, and what are your ambitions for this squad in the upcoming AFC Champions League?
Yeah, but you look at the lineup, you look at the names we've signed. We were able to recruit and keep at the club. There's amazing names, amazing players, amazing characters. We were in very close talks almost daily. For hours we would speak about players, about recruitments, about players to keep, and these are all players who are familiar, not only familiar, they fit in perfectly in the philosophy of the club. And as you see, there's not only high big names. We always look also for talents and for players we can improve, and they what they can do to the Asian scene once they get the chance. And this is going to be a very, very great year for us. The mix is there, the squad is there, everything is set up. We just need someone to open the door for us and let us out.
All right. I'm really getting excited just hearing your thoughts about the squad that you have right now for this season. I'm pretty sure not only you're hoping to get the title for the PFL this season, but progress deeper into the AFC Champions League. So I'm just gonna bring it over back to my colleague out here, Dave, for the other questions that our fans have. So yeah, take it away, Dave.
All right. So we got the second question from very interesting name. It's called Ratatouille 24. Maybe he loves cooking, I guess. So Ratatouille 24 asks, how would you prepare in order to make sure that the cohesion is there within the team, given that you have signed a number of new names prior to the AFC Champions League kickoff in a few months' time? Wow, what a question, Ratatouille.
I think Stefan has already answered that question before, because we've set out several months ago a certain philosophy of what we want to do with the club, where we want this club to go. And one of them was that, yes, we want to focus on some of the established players, but at the same time, we want to bring in young talent. Whatever we do has to improve football within the country. And if you look at the signings and the returning players, I think we have 10 players that are under 22. So there's a lot of potential going forward. And some of these young players are already, they're already on the national team level. I mean, Justin Bars, just to name, he's 21 years old. He's already an ASCAL, and he has a long way to go, and he can become really one of the outstanding players. And we have a couple others, obviously. But the philosophy always was to bring in players that will improve, that can learn. And then you have a good mix of experienced players who have played on the AFC level and who have played on the Southeast Asian level, and obviously who have performed very well within the PFL. So I think the cohesiveness is very natural. I mean, we have I mean, if you look at Bienven and Schröck, these two will be the leaders. They will draw everything. The younger players will learn so much from them, and everybody else tremendously respects them. So I don't think that we're going to have a problem with cohesiveness or with the players mingling with each other. And hopefully with a good start in the season and with the initial successes, when you're successful and you're confident, then, a lot of things will fall in place automatically.
It makes sense. It really makes sense. And the fact that, by the way, big shout out to Benvenido Marañon. Hopefully his Filipino citizenship will arrive on time, and we could finally see him and Schrock in the same, playing for the same country, and the same, they're already playing together, but what more with the Filipino flag. So I can't wait for that.
I want to ask one of the new players that you brought in. He's very interesting because, number one, he played really well in the PFL season. And then number two, for me, it was kind of a shock move. But then, it's football. We never know what's going to happen. I want to talk to Kenry. Kenry, brother, the last time that we were talking to you, nasa Mendiola ka pa. You were still with them, and you're about to step in as their number one goalkeeper. But over the off season, we got shocked by the news that Kenry signs for Mendiola. I mean, I told to myself, is this really happening that Kenry has a spot in UCFC? But when they said that it's happening, I just have to believe them that it really is something that you are now part of UCFC. Now, the biggest question is, knowing that Anthony Pintes is the club's number one goalkeeper as of the moment, you had stellar performances in the league as well. Paano mo siguro matatapatan, or ano yung gagawin mo as a player to be able to get the number one spot from him, or to be at least on the level with Anthony Pintes?
Origin. New aspiration. New ambition. Same purpose. Chase supremacy. Us. Against the world.
Thank you for that question. For me, it's all about the consistency and the hard work, and I think it's not between battling out, like we're not teammates, but it's up to us that who can prove it. The right spot could be him, his, or can be mine, but it's all about the work. It's all about the hard work and consistency in the training, and it's all about teamwork.
Do you think you'll be able to push Anthony Pintes to his limits na, ito ako ngayon, I had a great season last year, we were on opposite sides of the goal, but now I'll be pushing you and I'll be doing my best to be the number one goalkeeper for UCFC, and made my name as well, not only in the PFL but hopefully in the AFC Champions League?
Yes, that's gonna be 100% sure, because I push him, he pushed me, and it's all about give and take for me and him. So we improve, I improve, and we improve as a teammate.
Well, thank you so much for the great answers, Kenry. I mean, I really wish you good luck with UCFC. It's a strong team that you're coming into, and I'm pretty sure the expectations are really going to be high, not only from the fans but also from, of course, the co-owners, Eric Gottschalk, as well as your team captain, Stefan Schrock. So, Dave, what else do we have there?
Let us see. All right, so there is the third one. This is from Jeffrey Estiba. He says, let me take that. He says, do you have any plans? I think you mentioned this a while ago, Eric, but just for clarification, do you have any plans to strengthen your youth program? Because you mentioned already that you have certain players that are basically
U21, 23s,
U21s, 22s, especially including Justin Bass. Shout out to Justin Bass. But any clarifications about that? Like, do you have any plans on making it or as a sort of youth program for UCFC?
But first of all, yes, of course, we have to have an academy because it's part of the AFC licensing requirements. But first things first. I mean, first thing was that we set up and established a club with the name. We have now recruited the team, so there's a little bit of breathing space, and the responsibility now goes over to the coaching staff to make sure that everybody is ready to go. And from our side, on the management side, next step is hopefully within the next 1 month, we're going to announce our home city. And within the home city, the first thing what we're going to do is to set up our youth academy and our own training pitches. And then this will become really also a springboard for young players to come in, try out, and then hopefully have a chance to make it into the first team. And you've seen it already with some of the young recruits that have come back. I mean, Cholo Burgas is 18 years old, turning 19. You know, Ryan Jarvis, and so on. I mean, these are really, really, really young players. They can learn a lot, and they will head probably the young generation that will then come through the youth academy. But youth academy is extremely important, and that's definitely one thing that we have to set up.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see future ASCL players in the UCFC youth program in the future. That would be very, very nice. But I have a follow-up question because everybody also wants to know, like, being as a club owner, because not a lot of people know about this because they think it's easy. They think it's just, okay, you do this and that. But how hard was it to look for a local government to partner up as your home, as your home venue, especially during the pandemic? How difficult was it? Did it take you a while? And how was the whole process?
We've been looking for something like this for the last 2 years, and obviously it's not easy, and mainly because we're in the middle of the pandemic. It's very hard to meet people one-on-one, so you have a lot of discussions in terms of Zoom calls. But again, our key focus is always not only to have a home city or a home ground, but it has to fit with everything what we're trying to do. So that means there needs to be a football-loving community, there needs to be proper land available, and then obviously you need to have the right government relationships to support, because at the end of the day, it's professional football. At the moment, we are the #1 team in the country, and I think everything what we do needs to be also reflected by whoever we are going to associate ourselves with. So it's been a long journey, but we have made very, very strong progress. And like I said, we're going to be able before the end of April, maybe first week of May at the latest, to announce where we're going to be and where we're going to be for the next few years.
All right. So you have heard it here first. Around that time, you're gonna hear finally the spiciest news of UCFC is where are they going to play. So you're gonna hear that around April or May. Let's just say April or May, because we're not really sure when yet. But you've heard it first here on ESBF. All right, going back to you, Tito J.
All right. Yeah. Now that we were able to know the foundations, or how they're going to lay the foundations in the next coming years for UCFC, I want to go back to the players that you have signed for this season. I want to ask a question now to Mark Hartman. I mean, God, people have been waiting for you to be back here in the Philippines, and now you're back with no one else but the champions, United City Football Club. I mean, how was the journey overseas? How was it playing overseas, and now you're back with the strongest club here in the Philippines?
Hi everyone. I hope everyone's safe. Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean, obviously I started in the Philippines for a long time with Morocco and Global, and then managed to get myself off outside the country and just kicked on from there. Really, like for me personally, it made me grow as a player, and I've always improved, or I still improve. Like even when I joined this team. Every training session, I'm going to give 100%, and hopefully, like they all said, Eric said, they've brought in a lot of players that played in the PFL, a lot of players that have played outside. So hopefully, I could just bring my experience, guide a few of the players, and hopefully, we can do some work in the Champions League.
I mean, it's really going to be exciting. Not only that you're back here in the Philippines, but then you'll be playing in the, let's say, the top tier football competition, club football competition here in Asia. And people are asking, I mean, for those who hasn't watched any games of Mark Hartman before, maybe he can answer this question for you, because we know the caliber of a player he is. But there are other fans as well asking, what else can he bring to the table once he come in for United City Football Club?
Yeah, like for me, there's only one thing on my mind. It's just to win games. Whether I'm scoring goals, everyone knows that I love to score goals, love to assist. But that's what I'm going to bring. Winning mentality. I don't like losing. It's the same for every player that's going to be playing for the team. I do anything to win, and if it means scoring goals, assisting, if I need to put in the work, I put in the work. It doesn't matter. We're all here for one thing. It's to win, win everything in the Philippines, and then in the AFC Cup and Champions League, we take one game at a time. We get through the group stage. I don't see why we can't. Every day, like they said, I was just as surprised as everyone else with the players that we've signed. Every day I was like, wow, new player, new. I was messaging the players when they signed. I was like, you really signed? And so the squad's unbelievable. Obviously, you have Schrock here. It's going to be a massive influence for our team. So yeah, there's no reason why we can't do the impossible.
All right. Well, that's really great too. I mean, we're getting excited as well. Probably one last thing that I'd like to ask, and this is something on the funny side. How excited are you to have your brother Darren call your name during the PFL season?
Yeah, I mean he's done it. He's done it a couple of times before when he's commented on the national team. But yeah, it's always funny. Like if I ever watch game back and I hear him, if he says something, I'll be like, not sure about that. But no, it's all good fun. He knows what he's talking about most of the time. So it's good. It's all good.
All right. Well, thank you so much about that, Mark. I just want to go back to Schrocky this time now. Boss, you have Mark alongside now in the squad. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're also one of the guys who made this possible, that he's gonna move to UCFC. How do you feel that he said yes to UCFC and he'll be playing alongside with you in the Champions League?
Well, it's great. Mark brings so much quality, with God-given quality. His height, his strength. Look at his frame. He's working out daily. His mindset he's a very strong-minded guy, and I really have to say I did not like him so much as an opponent, but I do appreciate him even more as a teammate. We played several years together in the national team, and probably Mark has the best right foot I've ever seen in Asia, probably in all Asia. What he's able to do or capable to do with his right foot is simply just amazing, and I'm looking really forward to have him as a teammate and to boost the squad. A guy like him, with his experience, with what he has seen, the ups and downs of football, is always very needed in every squad, and we're more than happy that he signed with United City FC.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you so much for that, Rock. I mean, it's now time for both of you to showcase whatever you have up your sleeves in the upcoming Champions League. It's really getting exciting every moment that we have with you now, or that we are hearing these statements from you. Now, I know that we are in a little bit of a time constraint because you're going off training in 15 minutes. So I'll probably just open the floor now for our friends from the media. So I believe we can start off with Sir Aaron Bayato.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you again for the invitation. Perhaps my question, I'll only have two questions. First one for Jonny Campbell. Jonny, welcome to United City. We covered you as when you were playing for Sbayrieng last time out. Unfortunately, the AFC Cup was shelved due to the pandemic. Now, this time you will hopefully make your playing debut for United FC as, of course, member of UCFC for the Champions League. What do you think fans will expect to you come the competition proper?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And I'm really excited. Ever since I played against United City, Ceres Negros last year, I stayed in touch with a few of the players, and we just talked back and forth throughout the year. And then when they contacted me for this opportunity to join the club, I was very happy, and I'm really excited to join the team. And I hope that I can bring some stability as well as some creativity to the back line and help us keep clean sheets, as well as help us compete in such a high level competition.
Great stuff, Johnny. And final question to Sir Eric. Sir, good evening. Initially, the team is slated to play April or May for the Champions League, but unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic situation, it has moved to June or July. Will that play as an advantage for you and the team, or if not, how are you guys going to cope with it, given with the longer period of time to prepare?
Bored ka na ba? Mag-exercise ka! Introducing the 3 easy steps of Decathlon Pasig's Chat and Collect service. Get your favorite sports items right at the comfort of your home. Step 1. Chat with us via Telegram or Viber. Step 2. Pay online via GCash or over-the-counter at Decathlon Pasig. Step 3. Collect your purchase at the store or have it delivered to you via courier. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Chat na!
Great question, and thank you very much for this. I think it's actually an advantage for us. The 21st of April time would have only given us really a very, very short period of time to prepare. I mean, we would have had maybe less than a month to get everybody together and start training, while pretty much every other league in Asia was ongoing, and people are training and people are playing competitive matches. I mean, the big disadvantage is that if you look at AFC Cup, I think the last match from Ceres was in was in February or early March. Then the next 5 matches in the PFL came in the end of October, early November. So that means our players on average would have played probably 5 or 6 competitive games in the last 12 months. Now, most of the season, most of the leagues are also getting into their break. And for us to maybe get together early May and having 6-8 weeks to prepare for the AFC Champions League before we then go into the season is definitely going to be an advantage. Plus, if you're looking at the players, like if it's Johnny or if it's Justin Bars or if it's some of the other players that we have signed, they have played their seasons or parts of their seasons overseas, so they had a little bit more of match experience. So I think it works in our favor that we have a little bit more time now to prepare. While everybody else is also pretty much out of competition. I mean, the Thai league is now finishing, so these guys are going to have a break. So if maybe the playoff team from Thailand wins it, then they pretty much have the same preparation time that we would have. So I think it's definitely in our favor that now the Champions League is probably end of June or early July for us.
Great stuff, Sir Eric. Thank you very much. Back to Tito J and Sir David. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Aaron. Who is next from the media?
Ivan Saldaheno from Dugout PH. Brother, go ahead.
You just announced that you had a new coach in Coach Jason White. There are a lot of fan speculations on what his role will be. So, can you clarify his role for the club?
Yes, I can, of course. I mean, everybody knows that we had Trevor Morgan on announced as our coach. We were looking forward to him of heading last season's PFL season, but then it became apparent that it's going to be a problem for him to leave the country and to come into the Philippines. And we very quickly then reshuffled internally everything. So having basically Frank as the nominated head coach, but Stefan being our playing coach, and these two calling the shots with the season. This worked extremely well. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring Trevor back this time for a different reason, because with us qualifying for the AFC Champions League, we needed a pro license and a UEFA or an Asian pro license coach. We are very happy with the setup that we have internally with the coaching, but we still needed someone who has the license. And I think that Jason is a tremendously established coach. I mean, you've seen his resume. He has coached on the FIFA World Cup level. He has coached on the AFC Champions League level. He has experience on the national teams as well as on the club side. And he understands Asian football, so he will be heading our team for the AFC Champions League. He will give vital feedback. I mean, obviously, we cannot expect from him that he knows the players very well. So the shot calling is still with Stefan and with Frank, but we have at least a licensed coach and a coach who understands Asian football to give us the advice that we might need from the outside. Especially with Stefan probably going on the pitch, we need any help that we can get, maybe from the outside. So that's basically the role. He's going to be with us for the AFC Champions League. The season will be headed by Stefan and by Frank, and then we need to see how we're progressing and how the season goes, and then we take a look at next season what we're going to do. But at the moment, we are very happy with the coaching team that we have on board. And we're happy that Coach Witte is going to be able to join us at least for the AFC Champions League.
What will be your role in mentoring the young core? Because you have like the likes of Kenry, the likes of Anthony Pintos, used to have, and of course a lot of new bunch of youngsters.
Like I mentioned earlier, it's very important to have experienced guys like Mark and Bienve on the side, and we have Omid also coming back with his stint in Indonesia and his background in the European leagues, and with all of that setting up, the young guys, they have their best life, I would say, because gonna learn from the best in this generation. You just look at the lineup, at the names, at what they have achieved, and coming into a team like this, you can only learn. There will never be a problem for them. I'm quite sure we had some young players last season, also Chulo, and with Chulo especially, he's just 19 years old, so he's just a little kid, a grown up. He learned fast, even though the season was a quick one, and he will take major jumps as well as the others with playing and training alongside the veterans, and especially with Mark, Omid, and Bienve on my side. I'm very happy that we have signed them, and the young players should be very thankful to the management that they were able to recruit them, because they're going to learn for life, and not only for football, also for the outside.
Well, not really much I can add there. I mean, like Shoki said, what a time for the young boys to be joining this new team. I already said, like, our squad is an absolute joke. The amount of quality we have is unbelievable, and for the young players to be training with us, like Shoki said, every day when we do start, they're only going to improve leaps and bounds. I mean, it's a big time now for Philippine football to kick on, not only with the Champions League. I mean, if they do well, and they do well in the PFL, they get called up to the national team, then that's like the next biggest thing. That's the biggest thing they can do. I mean, like you said, I've spoken to Bugas before. Like, good player, he'll come in leaps and bounds. They all will. They've all signed for a reason. Shoki, or the coaching staff, know the players, and they know what they can do. So they can learn from us. Not sure I'm a veteran though, am I, Shoki?
You are
not that
already.
old. Am I? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, what a time for the young boys to be getting involved. It's a massive year playing outside the country in the Champions League, and it's going to be an experience for them as well as for everyone else.
Yeah. This question is for Shraki. Shraki, what can you say about the coming AFC Champions League? Of course, your club is so stuck right now, but your thoughts about your chances against your opponents?
Well, obviously the group is the toughest group for me in terms of names, and the Chinese team with the Japanese Kawasaki Frontale. I've seen it on videotape. I check, of course, the backgrounds and all of that. The lineup of the Chinese team is just simply incredible. But we're not scared. We're not running away. We take them on, and I'm quite sure we can surprise them and the whole of Asia with what we will perform. They breathe oxygen and have two legs just as you and me. So there's no reason why we can't beat them or pull off a big surprise. We were in the past years capable of being of going head and toe to toe with the biggest names in Asia. In the Champions League qualifiers, we advanced twice to the third round, and with a bit more luck, last season even we would have beaten Tokyo FC, which was imagine this 5 years, 6 years ago would have been just unbelievable that a team from the Philippines end up right there. But we're very proud, very honored. We know about our responsibilities representing the country in the biggest football stage in Asia, and we are so eager to perform finally and start training, because it's been a long year, and it's a big reward shining in the end of the tunnel for us. And you can expect from us that we make the country very proud, and we will bring football to the next stage. I'm absolutely sure that we can maybe even advance in this group.
Great stuff. Tito J, hope you don't mind. One more question for Shrocky with regards to BNV. Maybe moving to an Ascal's related question. Your thoughts about BNV getting closer to being naturalized, and what do you think BNV can bring to the Ascals?
If you work in and around the football scene in the Philippines, you might have noticed that Bienve is basically every competition he is joining, he is absolutely bamboozled at the competition. He's scoring in every game, in every competition, every important game. He's there when needed. He has something very, very special. Something we might the most now when we go to China for the World Cup qualifiers, because he's a killer. He's an absolute killer. He's taken half a chance for scoring a goal, and he's always there where he's needed. It's an absolute pleasure to have him on the team with Ceres in the last 4 years, and then United City FC last season, and for the next season as well. I'm looking forward to have him in the Ascals. It's actually, I think, the first time someone gets the citizenship not with the Filipino blood playing for the Ascals. So Bienve knows he can handle pressure. He is one of the smartest players I've played with on the pitch, and he will be a big boost. Scott Cooper knows that, the federation knows that, everyone in the country who's involved in football knows that Bienve will be a big boost for the national team.
Thank you, Shrocky. Jamer and David, thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ruben.
And that will give us about 5 or 6 weeks to prepare. At the same time, the national team is going to China. I think right now we have about 6, 8, 10 more or less current Ascals players on our roster, and they just need to come to the country and start training as well. So it's a little bit of a pre-preparation also for the national team.
All right. Next question comes from Lenrame Gutierrez. This is quite a long one, but it's interesting. All right. If this is so, what are I think you already mentioned this. No, because her question is, what are your preparations in order to make sure that how do you say this, the names have time to train, and the PFL will kick off also in a few months' time. I think you already mentioned this already. And how would you fill the gaps despite of the lockdowns?
Yeah, again, I mean, obviously we have 13 returning players, 14 new players. It will take a little bit of time for them to get used to each other, but most of them, they're familiar with each other, they know each other. I think there's a lot of synergies within the team. We were very careful of the players that we recruited. So a lot had to do also with character, not only with a great scoring record or with other credentials. So I think once everybody is together on the pitch, they're going to be so excited that they can start kicking a football, that the motivation is already there, and the gelling of the team will happen very quickly.
All right. I mean, we're just excited. At the end of the day, we're just excited. We're glad that you're squeezing every information for the UCFC fans. By the way, shout out to the Lady Reapers. Very, very intelligent three ladies who love you guys so much. So shout out to the Lady Reapers out there. So yeah, I think Jay, you have a question for Johnny. I mean, Johnny has been chilling there for the whole time.
Yeah.
we want to ask something about for Johnny. So take it away, Jay.
I mean, Johnny, this question of mine is something that you might have already answered earlier, but you're one of the key players that UCFC brought in for this season, and like what you've mentioned, this team is not new to you. You've faced against them like last time in the AFC Cup when they were Ceres Negros FC. And don't get me wrong, the core of Ceres Negros is still in United City Football Club. Where do you think, or which gap in the team do you think you'll be filling in?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I played against them last year, and wow, like they set the bar very high. They're a very good team. How they pressed us as a team, how they played football. Yeah, it was amazing to play against them and see how cohesive they were as a unit. So yeah, basically me coming into the side, I want to bring obviously what they've recruited me for and what I'm good at, which hopefully I can help the team keep clean sheets, like be defensively a lot more stable, especially in the Champions League, which is a very high level of competition. So we're gonna have to be very compact and choose our chances to attack, as well as help the team win the title again, the PFL. So yeah, I mean, I've been brought in to try and help our back line as well as help the cohesiveness of the team, and hopefully I'll be able to do that as soon as I can get into the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really getting excited. I watched that game against Ceres Negros FC, or between Ceres Negros FC and Svayriang. I mean, that was kind of tough for you guys. I mean, they made it really tough for you in that game, but they never backed down. That's what I could say. And Johnny was actually one of the key figures that everyone, not only the press, but everyone was actually looking into. And I'm really sure that he's going to bring a lot into the table for UCFC. Now, probably just to almost wrap things up for the night, I'll go back to our friend right here, Kenry. What can you say to probably your fans and your teammates on what are they going to look forward to once they see you suit up for UCFC?
I'm just gonna be there, suit up, and work my ass off, and give my 100% for the team, and also for my family, and give back the community that has given me a chance to play in the big club.
Thank you so much, Kenry. Now, heading into probably the second to the last person that I'm going to ask for tonight. I've already asked you earlier, Mark, but I just want to put you on the spotlight again. Like what we said earlier, it's been years, I believe, or I mean, it's been a long time that you've been here in the Philippines. And what I didn't ask you earlier is what did you miss about the local football scene out here in the country?
Obviously, I missed it because it's where it all started for me. Like every time, I always keep track of what's happening in the Philippines football, whether it was the UFL before and then obviously the PFL now. Always keep an eye on results, keep an eye on who's playing where. But I love it. I love playing in the Philippines, not just the football, but obviously I love the Philippines. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't love the Philippines itself. My family's here, so that was obviously a big part of me. But obviously, it's the best team. I'm not going to go anywhere else if I'm coming to the Philippines. The football, it's difficult. It's been difficult last year. It's going to be difficult this year with the pandemic. But as long as everyone's safe and healthy, when it starts, I mean, everyone needs to knuckle down, get into like beast mode, get it all done. Everyone's keeping fit on this by themselves. That's for sure. I mean, when you talk about why did I come back? Like I said, it's a difficult time for everyone. For me to be home now, especially like I said with my family, and with the team being in the Champions League into the group stages, I mean, what an opportunity! Not just for me, but for everyone playing in it. Now, you never know; it might not ever happen again. So when we get there, and we finally start training, and we get there wherever it is, we have to give our best, and hopefully take one game at a time. Okay, so like I said before, our squad's a joke. Like the amount of time that every day I was like, wow, player. I mean, not like, even if they weren't in the national team, they've been in the national team before, or they've been playing overseas. Same as me. I mean, I've been away for 5 years. So everyone that's played outside the Philippines, they know that they're going to come back, experience, better players, and come back and enjoy it and play with a smile on their face.
Thank you so much for that, Mark. I mean, like what I said, we're just really excited to see you back here in the Philippines, especially now that you're part of the squad that will be representing, somewhat the Philippines in the AFC Champions League. So good luck, and we hope to see you a lot in the upcoming season. Now, I really want to ask a lot of questions to Eric, but I'm going to keep it short as well. For some people, for those who has been following Southeast Asian football as well, or these players overseas, like for example Justin Baas, if I'm not mistaken, he hadn't played quite a number of matches with his club. Same way goes with the other players that you have there. Do you think the hunger that they have in terms of not being able to play minutes in their career while they're overseas will come into your advantage once they start playing for United City Football Club?
Well, first of all, I think that the team that we have assembled is very strong because we're very deep. And that's what we need for the Champions League, because we're going to play, 6 games in 12 or 14 days. So if you only have one center back, you're probably going to run out of options. If you only have one goalkeeper, you're taking a big risk, and so on. So we've recruited a team that is obviously hungry, but that has the experience and the capabilities to perform. It's the same with Mark. I mean, Mark, you give him a couple extra minutes and he's going to be our top goal scorer and our top forward. You look at Kenry. He doesn't need to stay back because we recruited him for what he does on the pitch. You listen to him here in the interview. He's one of the nicest and humblest, quietest guys that you will meet. But if you remember what he did when he's on the pitch, I mean, I'm from Germany. He reminds me a little bit of Oliver Kahn because he's loud, he directs, he goes out there, he has no fear, and that's what we need. So I think that we're in a very good position because we have absolute depth and strengths within the team. So, yeah.
And by the looks of your squad, you've been mixing it up. I mean, you have great partnerships right there with Stefan Schrock and Bienvenido Barañon. But what's more interesting for us right now is you have the Nazari brothers coming in for you. How do you think this connection will come into your advantage as well in the AFC Champions League, knowing that they've actually played before in Ceres Negros FC. They've been switching places. One's going to play ahead of the other one, but do you think there will come a time in UCFC that they'll be playing together in the pitch?
Well, of course. I mean, we're very happy and we're very proud that we've brought Omid and his brother to the club. If you look at the new recruits, it's almost like a homecoming. If I remember when we were talking about a year ago, everybody was saying, wow, we're losing all these players, they're going overseas. And we've been able to bring them back. And, we brought a couple of players from Thailand, a couple of players from Malaysia, Indonesia, some from Germany. So it's really like a little bit of a homecoming. They've played over here. and they're now coming back to the team. And I think this has a little bit to do of what the philosophy is, what we're trying to achieve. It has a lot to do, obviously, with Stefan, because he's really the link that between the players and the club, and they trust him. Just with Mark, I mean, Mark was, I think, the first or the second person that actually committed of playing with us, and it's nice to hear from him that he was so excited of learning every day that we signed a new player, because he bought into a philosophy. He trusted Schröck, he trusted Ace, and he signed with the club without really knowing of how this team is going to look like. So, like I said, it is a homecoming. Some of the players have not played a lot with the previous clubs. Maybe they played at very strong clubs where there was also a lot of competition. But for them to come back here, having a chance to play AFC Champions League and really starting something that's the first within Philippine football, I think that was very attractive, and we're happy. So, and if the two brothers are going to be able to play together, we can say the same maybe with Ryan and Jordan. So it's not only the only brother team.
Yeah.
Obviously, we lost Manny. Maybe, I mean, we could have almost had a team just from brothers, no?
Yes.
No, but we're very happy, and we're looking forward to it. And if you look at the feedback and the reasons why the players have signed with us, I mean, everybody's excited about Champions League, but they're also excited of having a chance of actually winning matches. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Eric. Now, I'll let my colleague out here, Dave, finish off for me tonight. Dave, go on.
By the fact that he called Kenry Oliver freaking Kahn, that's a big something towards Kenry. So I would say that Pintus is Neuer for now. So we shall see what will happen. I'm excited for the upcoming, the GK battle between them. But it's not gonna be a battle. They're gonna help each other. That's for sure. All right. So, Johnny, being in a new league, being in a new country, especially in the Philippines, do you have any messages for your new fans? What do you think of the PFL in general, and what are your thoughts about our country?
I've only been there for 3 days, so I'm looking forward to spending much more time there. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to play in Philippines. And especially with this club, I mean, playing against them last season, seeing how good of a club they are, how they play football, everything. I mean, how could you not be excited? And exactly what Mark said, just seeing all the players that are being brought in is so exciting, because I look forward to playing with all of these guys, and I'm sure we're going to produce some very enjoyable football to watch for Philippines and in the Champions League as well as in the PFL. So I can't wait to get over there. I hope things get better in the Philippines, because I know it's pretty bad at the moment with the pandemic. So I just hope that that's okay first.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think all of us in this call, in this show, we want the pandemic to just disappear like a snap, like Thanos style. But it is what it is. But there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And shout out also to our frontliners. You guys are the real heroes here. So yeah, I will go to Mark. How do you say this? For me, aside from Kenry, you're one of the big surprises in this whole 12 days of UCFC Christmas. That's where we're gonna call it, the whole day, the whole 12 days of UCFC Christmas. But Mark, how does it feel like from playing from Meralco to playing in the AFC Champions League, man? I mean, how would you say to your younger self? It's like, hey, Mark, you're gonna play in the AFC Champions League. Would he believe you?
Nah, there's no way. I mean, you would never thought that the Philippine football would have got to that level. Not just national team, but club level, especially. I mean, I remember when I think I was at Global, and we played in the AFC Cup for the first time, and I was like, wow, it's a massive competition. This is like Europa League of Asia. And then next thing you know, we're in Sarah's are playing in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Like, if they get through one more game, they've got one more game, then they'll be in the group stage. Then this year, it's like, wow, we're in the group stage. And like Eric said, I signed, I think I was second after after Pimmy signed, the keeper, and I met Ace ages back, and I was like, Ace, I want to come back to the Philippines. I want to sign for you guys. I know there's like big things going to happen. And I was like, but I've got to ask you a serious question. I said, you're going to get a team? Because honestly, there was no one signed. Absolutely no one signed. He was like, yeah, don't worry. I said, is Schrocky staying? And he goes, yeah, Schrocky's staying. But I don't know whether he said that just to make me sign or not. I was like, okay, no worries. I believe you. And then, yeah, like, I think, was it a few weeks ago they started announcing all the players? And I was like, yeah, good decision. But like you said, if I would have asked myself when I was at Morocco, when I first started, would this where the Philippine club level would be playing in Champions League, I'd have said, nah, no chance. Absolutely no chance. So that just goes to show how much Philippine football has grown. And it's a big reason why all the players are signed, because the club's going in the right direction, as well as Philippine football. Like everyone said, as long as the pandemic can kind of disappear somehow, I don't know when, I don't know how it's going to happen, but when everyone starts to play and the football's back, everyone's going to start feeling a lot better. So especially for me, like, I can't wait for it to start happening. So sooner the better.
Yeah, I mean, I the same thing is that it's a crazy thought that somebody in the country that is from the Philippines, who is named UCFC, United City FC, is actually going to play in the Champions League, in the Asian Champions League. So I'm still blown away. There's still a Filipino club in the Champions League, and that is UCFC. And we hope that how do you say this? You bring us the points. Obviously, you're representing the country and everything. So, I mean, the only thing that's quite disappointing is the fact that there's no certain anthem. Like we would love to hear the UEFA Champions League, but that's in Europe. So, I mean, it's a pity that the Asian Champions League doesn't have a certain anthem. Because when you go inside, you want to hear that anthem, get that goosebumps, and be hyped. But with all due respect, AFC, you should make an anthem. Make an anthem.
There is. It's just that we're not used to it right now because we haven't heard it for a club.
Compare it with the UEFA Champions League, man. It's like, these are the champions.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine it while you're in the field. That would be even better. So, before we conclude, obviously, let's go back to Eric. Eric, we want any announcements, anything you want to say to your fans.
Squeezing him more.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm being honest here, man. Like, he's been being like mysterious as Batman, and then next thing you know, he comes out like Superman. So obviously they want to see what's gonna happen. So, Eric, like, do you have any message to your fans? Any kind of announcements you want to make? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I think we had as much fun with all these announcements than all the fans, because I think the first few weeks were all about saying goodbye to some of the top players, and everybody was getting really worried. But behind the scene, I mean, Stefan and I, we sat down already at the end of last season. Actually, I posted it. We had dinner together, and we pretty much on a handshake already said that we're going to go forward. So, and then with him posting all these things with him at the airport, and all these little hints here and there, it was really nice to see the reaction of people. And but the fans that believed in us and the people in the background who knew really what was going on, they all knew that we're going to put a great team together. I mean, there is a responsibility. We took the responsibility to basically take over the heritage of Ceres. So there was a lot of pressure on us for making sure that we have a good team and that we can compete and win the local championship again. And now the pressure is on us to representing the country in the Champions League. Hopefully Kaya will do its part as well in getting to the qualifying stages. And again, I think we helped them a little bit by getting Jay Ingham from Brisbane Roars to us, and so we're weakening their opponents a little bit. So now it's up to Kaya to just come through and being with us in the group stages, which would be absolutely tremendous. But again, we've had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good announcements, a lot of positive messages at a time when things are very tough for everybody, and hopefully it lightens everything up a little bit. We will have a lot of very, very good news coming up over the next few weeks. There's some things where you're probably going to be scratching your head and says, this is something that we would have never thought of. I can promise you this one. There's one announcement that's going to come, and you will really scratch your head and said, wow, we would have never thought about it. And we want to make sure that we are ready for the Champions League. We want to make sure that we are representing the country well, because it is the extension of what so many people are doing in the background. I mean, we all heard that we're probably going to have 8 teams in the league. We know we're going to play probably 21 rounds of matches. So there's a tremendous effort being done by the Football Federation, by the Football League, to make sure that the local football is growing and it's stabilizing and is getting better. And we are just at the moment the poster boys that everybody is looking at, and we know we are responsible to make sure that we are delivering. I cannot promise that we are winning the Champions League or that we're getting out of the group stages, but if you look at our team, I mean, everybody is ready to compete, and we're not going to make fool out of ourselves, and we're going to be representing the country very well. And hopefully this will inspire others. And we want young players to play football, and we want to make sure that the local league gets better. And that's the ambition that we have right now. So be ready for some nice announcements, and hopefully we're going to grow our fan base. And I can't wait for having all the players come over and meet them in person and congratulate them and thank them for being part of this team and this journey. And we're looking forward to a great season 2021.
Well, thank you very much. At this point, we should call you Chef Eric, because you are cooking a lot of things. I don't know if you're the president or you're a chef in the kitchen, but we will call you both anyways. All right. So before, we conclude, Mark, do you have any message to your fans? A short message to your fans in UCFC? What do you expect like that?
I know, I know it's a difficult time for everyone, but let's just be patient. Obviously, hope everyone safe and health is number one. And then once we get past this pandemic, we can kick on with the football. And I hope everyone can watch and support us as we venture into the Champions League. It's going to come around quick, so when it starts, it's going to happen all in one. So I hope everyone out there that watches supports us and wishes us all the best, and we give our all for not only just for the team, but like everyone said, we're representing the Philippines as well. So thank you for everyone for the patience for the pandemic, but it's gonna happen. Don't worry, it's gonna happen.
All right. Kenry, magbisaya na lang ko para authentic sa imong mga fans. Kenry, unsay imong mga message para sa imong mga kapwa taga Cebu, taga Visayas, katong mga Bisaya jud? Unsay imong mga message sa ilaha tungkol sa next season and yung sa Champions League?
My message is
Alipod ka mag-Cebuan mo no bay?
Stay safe, stay at home, and practice this healthy protocols, and just be patient, and things will be fast, and we'll be back to normal, and keep praying. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. Any message to your, the UCFC fans, and what can you tell them?
Yeah, no, I'm just very, very happy, very excited to be joining UCFC, and I can't wait to get started. I can't wait until we all get together and meet each other, and start becoming a family. Although there's already a family established, so just add the new players in, and you grow this bond together. So I'm really excited and really happy.
Okay, thank you very much, Johnny. Before I do our outro, Eric, what do you call yourselves? Because before, Ceres was called the Busman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would you call UCFC? Because, they're not the Busmen anymore, so you kind of need a new name. Do you have anything in mind?
Interesting.
I really don't know. Call the guys the Golden Boys right now, because that's what they are. So they're shining, they're armor, they're everything. So maybe these are the Golden Boys. I don't know. Let the fans tell us what they think who we are. And there's been a lot of names circulating over the last few weeks and months, and I think the fans will come up with something what they're going to call us.
All right. Let us know down in the comments below. Eric is expecting it. Eric is expecting it. You will disappoint him if you don't comment down below. So anyways, thank you very much, especially to our friends in the media. Thank you for joining the call. Thank you again to Mark, to Kenry, and to Johnny. I know like timelines and time zones is confusing, but thank you anyways. Also, a big thank you to Schrock, who is training right now and is maybe sweating a lot at this point. But thank you very much, United City Football Club. We appreciate your time and going on the show. We appreciate you guys. And obviously, shout out to the rest of the ESBF, mga pamangkikers. Also, would you want to do other shout outs to TJ?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much again to United City Football Club, or let's call them now the Golden Boys of Philippine football, as what Eric said. The Golden Boys of Philippine football. So yeah, thank you so much again for joining us in the show, and we really hope you great success in the AFC Champions League. I mean, make it past the group stages and raise the flag. Big shout outs to our ESBF gang, who's not with us right now. We're currently dealing with a lot of things. I know that a lot of you have been dealing with a lot of stuff, but don't worry. Everything will will be good. Everything will be over soon, so don't worry about it. And big shout out as well to our sponsors. First and foremost, to Against The WRLD Clothing, all the way from Davao. Thank you so much. We're dropping something, and be excited as well about that. We're gonna be like Chef Eric right here, just keeping you waiting for that special news. But don't worry, we're cooking up something. And another thing that we're cooking up is, of course, to our newest partners, Decathlon Philippines, or Decathlon in partnership with Kipsta. Expect more football content, something on the instructional side, and something that will enlighten not only the younger ones, but the likes of us, the titos and the titas, who would like to play the beautiful game of football again as a hobby or something, just to break the sweat. So yeah, I'm all good, Dave. Anything else that you'd like to say, or should we say let's wrap this baby up?
Yeah, let's just wrap this baby up. Not just enlightened. Your guys gonna laugh your butts off for what we have in store. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again to the medias, to the players, to Eric, and to the whole staff of United City FC. Thank you very much, and obviously, good luck in the AFC Champions League. And this has been your boy Johnny Pompa, alongside with the J. This has been Easily Brief Football. See you on the next episode. Bye.
This is why we need to bring football.